Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Peck. I am CEO and co-founder of PATHeous Health, and I'm here today to talk about dysphagia. So for those that don't know what dysphagia is, it's essentially swallowing impairment. And it turns out that swallowing is an essential vital body function. And in fact, you probably haven't thought about this much today, but you'll think about it tonight when you're having an adult beverage. You will swallow it about 700 times, over 700 times today. When you do that successfully, you're using about 50 different muscle pairs in your body. Unfortunately, for about 15 million adults in the US alone, that's a problem. They can't do it right. That leads to poor quality of life, leads to malnutrition, dehydration, aspiration pneumonia, and ultimately death. So it's a big problem. So when you're eating and drinking, think about this. It's an important function that helps stave off some of these really bad conditions later on in life. So the dysphagia challenge is significant. It's expensive, it's complex, requires a lot of specialized medical care. Good news is there's a lot of great research that backs up dysphagia care, but there's no standard of care today. It's all locked up in the universities in this research and at these research levels. And there's no self-care option. And when you have a bad condition such as stroke, Parkinson's, dementia, frailty, head and neck cancer, it's a big impact. And it adds a lot of cost to healthcare. It's estimated it adds 40% more when you have an episode of dysphagia. It adds 40% more to your cost of care, which leads to about a $21 billion impact to overall health costs in the US alone. And unfortunately, I'm in this category. Don't raise your hand if you are. When you're over age 50, you have a 50% likelihood increase of dysphagia, and in nursing homes, that population is significant. And certainly COVID has had a big impact on that. And in fact, dysphagia in senior care has been called a geriatric giant. That's one of the a very important category in geriatrics to be labeled a geriatric giant. So our solution is to bring out a holistic model and really change the episodic care for dysphagia. We call it integrated dysphagia care. It starts with mobile imaging diagnostics, which we are doing today, developing a novel wearable sensor, which will measure swallow rates and that important swallows per minute vital sign, telehealth that impacts dysphagia care and the other devices out there that can help treat that condition, and then nutrition coaching applications for the patient. Nutrition is a key component of managing and treating dysphagia. And our focus initially is on the senior care population. Again, keep your hands down, but unfortunately there's a lot of us, and it's going to get quite large in the next few years. It's going to be one of the most significant impacts to healthcare this country's had in a long time. In fact, it's a global issue. By 2034, the over age 65 population will outnumber the under age 18 population. Life expectancy is increasing thanks to all these great healthcare technologies we have out there, and it's a global trend. So that is our initial focus. We're also focusing on the senior care providers that take care of that elderly population. And a significant pain point for these care providers today are new CMS regulations that are driving value-based care, COVID recovery to get their patient population back, and certainly healthcare savings, cost savings. We do that with a current mobile imaging diagnostic platform. Today, we're going into over 400 senior care clients and providing an on-site mobile imaging diagnostic service. We're 70% cheaper than hospitals, where they have to send them if they don't have us. And we have almost a 30,000 facility addressable market to take in that mobile imaging diagnostic service. We're then developing a new novel remote sensor that'll do an early good enough assessment of the swallowing condition called swallometrics. And what that device will do is measure swallows per minute. It has over 10 years of research backing it. It's been shown to be 97% accurate, and it will be a predictive indication of both dysphagia and aspiration pneumonia. We're then focusing on home health, where we're seeing patients shift out of the hospital instead of going into these senior care providers. They're being discharged to home. So we're going to bring on self-care applications, whether it be digital health, using our sensor for telehealth and nutrition management. The team to execute this, we think, is pretty good. We'll cross out myself, but everybody else around our team is outstanding. And really the great name on our team is Dr. Michael Crary. He is world-renowned in the area of dysphagia research, is co-founder of the Florida Dysphagia Institute, and has over 45 years of research experience. He has 2 existing applications, the iOS store today, that help clinicians manage dysphagia, and is an excellent add to our team. We're also supported by 2 outstanding clinical directors and a great leader for our sales and marketing team. Our Series A highlights, so we closed the Series A last year, and in 2020 we were busy. We started our company with an initial tranche in March of 2020, and 30 days later we acquired an existing 24-year-old business that focuses on the mobile imaging diagnostic space. That's given us this referenceable client base. That's a market, that's a space that's very fragmented, ripe for roll-up, and that's the strategy we're pursuing right now. And in fact, in 2020, or in the last 12 months, we added 78% more clients than we had on day 1 of acquiring that business, and some of the leaders, some of the largest senior care providers in the space. We're now partnering with a leading EMR company that is focused on post-acute care. That'll extend our reach and help us to build out workflow and other opportunities based around a remote monitoring technology. Our next step is to target a Series B raise in late 2021. We've now essentially closed our Series A. We have a very, very attractive valuation based on our traction. We'll close with a post money of $6.4 million when we finish out that A. And again, we're targeting the Series B term sheet somewhere in late Q3, Q4, maybe into Q1 of 2022. That, I thank you. So drink up.